Now, from the great state of Illinois, EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to the second city of Chicago. Tonight, we kick off Week 3 with a great Thursday night matchup, as it'll be the Redwoods of Albuquerque taking on the Huskies of Chicago. On the visiting sideline, their head coach. His guys looking good right out the gate, off to a 2-0 start. His counterpart on the other side, the head coach of the home team. His guys ready to show out in front of the home fans as they try to send them home happy at the end of this one. About set to begin another week of football, and happy to have you along. We are underway on Thursday night primetime. And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they'll be led out by a guy who has a couple years under his belt in the NFL, their third-year quarterback.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one is capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
The numbers for him from a week ago, 12 carries, 89 yards.
Well, obviously, he didn't have a great deal of time between games, having to turn around on a short week and get ready for Thursday night football. But he said in pregame, he was feeling pretty good and felt more recovered from last week's contest than he would have expected. Didn't seem to think this short week was going to affect him much as he chases a big performance here in prime time. This early in the game, it's all about making steady progress downfield, hoping to lead to early points. And you can do it with your actual play calls or sometimes something a little more improvised, as we just saw there.
They'll run on first down. It's Franklin to about the 40-yard line. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. Second down and 8. They'll keep it on the ground. Franklin dances by him. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A big hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Franklin. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
At the 34-yard line.
Let's go.
Up the middle they go. It's Franklin. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's third down. That's complete. It's Adnan Mitchell. He's got room to roam. Touchdown, Chicago! Adnan Mitchell. His second touchdown on the season. And the Huskies put the night's first points on the board as they take the early lead. With these Thursday night games, sometimes you get those quick turnarounds. You wonder how a team's going to start. They started really well.
Everyone's always wondering, going into a Thursday night game, who has their legs, who has the overall health of the team. But mentally, if you get that early edge, the other team might think to itself, it's been a short week. We're not really ready to go. You might run them into the ground that way. That's why getting that early score means a lot.
point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game.
Huskies 7.
So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 up to 27. So now we'll get a look at the other offensive unit as they come out for their first possession. And a glance at the tall signal caller, standing 6'6".
And it felt like it watching the game tape. He got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some. They threw it accurately. One touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that. But he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations. A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side, the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
First down. It's a gain of 17 yards. First down.
I'll give them credit for a good read right there because they read the man coverage on the right side and sent the tight end a few steps down the field and then angled him to the left on a crossing route. And he was able to get enough separation on this play to turn it into a nice gain.
For a right side here, complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Let's go now. 19, Charger, 19.
In motion to tight end. On first down, it's Lloyd. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
He was tackled at the 27.
Well, the numbers there for Lloyd last week. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher, 3rd and 6.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage.
8-yard pickup.
A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling. They go play action here on 1st down. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20.
Panther 60, Panther 60.
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And they will finally get him down as he's all the way to the 36-yard line. Make it 2 weeks in a row now. He's kind of been Johnny on the spot. A fumble recovered last week, and now 2 in a row.
Reminds me a little bit of an old teammate of mine. We used to call him the Vulture because he would swoop in and clean up after the play was made. But, boy, we said it with a lot of affection because he made a lot of game-changing plays by getting to the football that had been knocked loose.
What was your nickname, by the way?
Can you go get me some water, guy, please? The rest of us are playing.
Yeah, right. Too humble.
Okay, break. Ready, ready.
Following the fumble recovery, Knowles. Down inside the 10. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. A great effort there. 36 yards. And the strike quickly to add on to their lead. No going for two. They'll kick the point after. The extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make the score 14-0.
Huskies 14.
Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. One play drive and into the end zone for 6. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive. They're riding a 2-game winning streak into this Thursday nighter. How easy is it when you're on a roll to stay on a roll given the quick turnaround?
Well, you would think it'd be pretty easy because everyone's locked in practice and meetings because everyone feels good about themselves. And for coaches, this is where they have to tell themselves, don't add too much. Don't worry about game plans as much as players. So look at your play sheet and think, give it to the guys who play best, and don't worry about the rest of it.
Up the middle they go. It's Lloyd. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A gain of 13. It's a first down. So you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
Now I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Now a handoff up the middle. Lloyd. They nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. 10 more there and another first down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Now a fake on the jet sweep, and off the play action, he'll look to throw it. Looking right side, and it's intercepted. And he will be brought down, but he's got the interception on the final play of this first quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Second quarter now, and it's our home team with possession. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Now a play fake here on first down. Calling a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up second down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. From the gun on third down, Knowles. And this pass broken up. And the contact well-timed there, and now fourth down.
That might be the third down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And that'll skip out of bounds inside the 20 at the 17-yard line. The Albuquerque offense out to take over now. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because our division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Now a 3rd and 6.
Brings up 3rd and 6.
They'll look to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Lloyd. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. The 3rd down conversion is successful. Give him 12 yards that time. Back to throw again. He finds his man, complete. That's Lloyd. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that will bring up 2nd down.
Not only did we just see back-to-back nice games, but we're also seeing the confidence rise, not just for the guy who caught it, but the guy throwing it as well.
And these back-to-back catches here out of the backfield, that can set something up downfield in a later sequence, right?
A lot of the time, it starts to draw the defense closer to the line of scrimmage. So to your point, show this swing pass, show this check down. Maybe later on you heave one deep when you catch him close to the spot.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He'll try and do this himself. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Cowboy 80.
Up the middle they go. It's Lloyd. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. He'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Shepard. And he's brought down short. 2 yards there. Needed 4.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
Here we go. Here we go.
Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he didn't get there. The fullback dive held up short. And it'll be a turnover on downs. Well, down 2 touchdowns already. I guess they felt they needed to go for it, but still early, still first half.
I think conventional wisdom says, look, as you point out, you got a whole half to play. Hang in there. Don't give up any more points in this situation. Do a little adjusting at the half and come out ready to go.
They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down.
It's a loss of 8.
Well, that's what they have to do more of defensively. Not just getting sacks, but they have to keep getting in his face. Not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. In trouble, and he's taken down. Call it a loss of 4 there on the sack. And speaking of the number 4, it brings up 4th down now. A 3rd and long, you knew that he was going to throw it. He just couldn't find anybody to throw it to.
Yeah, and it shouldn't have been a surprise, but that was perfect execution of their nickel defense. That 5th defensive back, the extra defender, he really tightened up things downfield in coverage, and they were able to get to him in the pocket.
The Albuquerque offense ready to take over once again. And Charles, these early season in-division games are always interesting because you're still kind of figuring yourself out, but you want to know as much as you can about the opponent, especially when it's a division matchup. So I'm curious to see how the rest of this one plays out.
Yeah, that's a good point because they're still trying to work things out. They don't know everything about their own team, let alone trying to figure out their opponent. But you got to do both on the fly, don't you? While the game's being played, figure it out both ways and try and find a way to win.
To the sideline, and it's caught, but boy, he's out of bounds. Now, they tried to get him into space coming out of the backfield, but it'll be third down. The offense on third down tonight, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. The drive stays alive, a 3rd down gain of 8. Two minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0.
Come on.
And the tight end goes in motion left. Again, he'll drop to throw. Pressure comes, and down he goes. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Here's a quick throw caught out wide. Just a gain of a couple there. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Back to throw here. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. 27 yards there on a very nice 3rd down conversion. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Now they'll audible to something else. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He finds his man complete. That's Lloyd. And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. Marshawn Lloyd from 13 yards out. And the Redwoods have cut it back within a score. CD, you know he's got great options at wide receiver, tight end, but there he looks to the backfield, and it results in a touchdown.
I love how you laid that out. So many options. You made me forget about some of the ones that you should be covering. And they made them pay with that one, didn't they? You forget about the guys in the backfield, they're eligible too.
Extra point right down the middle. And that'll make our score 14-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
2nd and 6 at the 32-yard line.
Ready.
Now a handoff up the middle. Franklin. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. 3rd and 4. Operating from the gun, Knowles. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. So they bring out their punter as he's on to punt for Chicago. Fielded at the 20. Good block blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40.
19 Charger, 19 Charger.
They'll start on the ground with Brooks. And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. Well, hopefully, obviously, nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. The coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot and forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that you can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
A gain of 22 yards. And an Albuquerque 1st down.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Going right back to Knox, and again a completion. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10.
Albuquerque 1st down. A gain of 15. 1st down, Redwoods.
Now we're 1st and 10 at the 11.
Here we go, let's go.
They'll look to throw again. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. Here's 2nd and 10.
Let's go now.
And they'll send the tight end in motion left. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he's got his man in stride, complete. Driving for the goal line, but he's marked down short. And with no timeouts, no chance to get the field goal unit out there. And frustration going to set in, as that is going to be how this 1st half will come to a close.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Welcome in, everyone, to the Orlando studios. Scott Hansen with you for a quick halftime report. We'll let both sides catch their breath and get their orange wedges as we're going to get ready for the 3rd quarter action. So let's go back out to the stadium as we rejoin our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Scott, thanks a bunch. And we'll see which team's adjustments are going to pay dividends here as we are just about ready for the start of the 2nd half. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. This offense ready to go to begin this 3rd quarter. And they trail here to begin the 2nd half. What's going to be a key for them to get back in the game?
I think they're right there, and I think this game is still up for the taking for them because we always talk about turnovers. They had 2 of them in the 1st half, and once you start talking about if you have 3, 4, or 5, you know it's beyond difficult to try and win a football game with that. Those have to be eliminated. If they take care of the ball, they've still got a shot. And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. He continues to deliver a 1st down here. He had 4 catches in the 1st half, and this one number 5. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice game.
Number 5. 10 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and inches at the 41-yard line.
In need of only about the length of the football here on 2nd down. Up the middle they go. It's Lloyd. And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. 50 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
Running game working, they'll stick with it on first down. He had to fight that time. Ran through one tackle, but ultimately he's only going to get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 9. They'll keep it on the ground. Lloyd. Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves him with a 3rd down and 8. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's going to be taken down short of the first, right around the 15-yard line. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Here we go. Stop. Hiking 18.
They'll try and run for it. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10.
4 yards.
Remember, that was 4th and a full 2 yards. There's a big difference between that and 4th and maybe 6 inches or a yard.
Yeah, you're exactly right, because when it's at 6 inches, you just fall forward and you pick it up, right? You just go quarterback sneak. But having to move bodies, that means you actually have to execute because they know what you're going to do. How are you going to make the right play call and get everyone into the right spot and win at the line of scrimmage? That's what they did there.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
Let's go now. 60 Eagles. 60 Eagles.
Now a handoff up the middle. It's Lloyd. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
He'll drop to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
So they were facing the deficit coming out of the locker room at intermission, and at least they're able to get the field goal to cut into that deficit.
Yeah, now your offense feels pretty good about itself, right? A little bit more up to speed coming out of the break. You turn to your defense now and say, hey, we got 3 there. We're chipping into the lead. Can you help us out? Hold them. Let's get the ball back for us.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half.
Here we go. Ready.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Come on, come on.
2nd and 7.
18
At
Cardinals.
the 28-yard line.
It's caught. Mitchell. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. Right? It's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
And the throw and the catch were just fine, but against zone coverage, when you run a drag route, what you're hoping for is he makes the catch and makes someone miss, and they don't there. Very difficult route to run when everyone has their eyes back towards the quarterback and they're able to see the route develop.
Complete. This is Mitchell. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive.
They'll let the QB keep it here off the option.
And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is 2nd down.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Now he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. 4 catches now on this drive alone. They can't stop him. It's another 1st down.
On the give, here's McBride.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Ready?
Brings up 2nd and 7.
Ready? Hawk 70, Hawk. Ready?
Here's a 2nd and 7. And he's going to lose yardage here, as they will switch ends as time has run out on this 3rd quarter of play. 4th quarter coming up here on Thursday Night Prime Time. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The offense on 3rd down tonight, 2 for 5 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
At their own 5-yard line.
A seismic shift in momentum here in the 4th quarter. That's the break that the defense needed.
And you know as well as I do, people are going to question the play call. In that situation, sometimes you have to question the execution, not necessarily the call.
Oh, that is going to be a safety. Now, the 2 points, that's not totally critical at this point. Still a 1-score game, but they do have to give away the football with no guarantees they're going to get it back.
Yeah, or at least if they get it back, will they have any time to do anything with it? So they've got to send their defense out there and say, guys, we got to have it right now. Save some time for us.
Oh, he takes it in, doesn't let it bounce. He takes it at the 2.
It's a gain of 31
Now
yards.
Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Their lead back down to 1 score after the field goal a moment ago, so they'll be looking to string together a few 1st downs, likely on the ground as they begin 1st and 10. They'll start with the option. And unable to get downhill there, so take this up to about the 37. Here's a 2nd down and 7 from the 37.
Come on,
Brings
come
up
on.
2nd and 7.
60 Eagles, 60 Eagles.
Off the play fake. Knowles. Looking for the crossing route, and he's got Mitchell. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds.
It's a gain of 33.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. They'll try to run the option here. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Let's go.
Back to throw. Knowles. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards. Looking to throw. Knowles. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
So when you factor in the safety, this now a 5-point swing.
And look, I'm not going to turn away a 5-point swing because 5 points, that's valuable. Don't get me wrong on this. But if they could have taken that safety and added 7 to it, now you're talking about a really big swing.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Looking to put a drive together. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll set up a throw. He finds his man complete. That's Shepard. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
First and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Well, there's that man again. It's complete. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
10 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and inches. At the 45.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Looking left side, and it's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Now they'll change things around before the snap. On play action, they'll throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
In motion goes the tight end. That's caught. Touchdown. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Redwoods have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. Well, time to let those folks know who are tuning in looking for the late local news. And we may be a moment because we've got a game again.
And, partner, except for those on the West Coast where it'll be seen in its regular time, right? That's the way it works, doesn't it? But how about that? Big-time drive right there. If they're going to have any chance, they needed a touchdown there, and they went right down the field and worked their way into the end zone.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. Point after, right down the middle. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter.
Redwoods 17.
So the lead shaved to 2 now as the kickoff is away. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line.
Their own 23-yard line.
The Chicago offense set to get started. And they've seen their lead nearly extinguished after that last score, but bottom line, they are still on top with the football, and a touchdown on this drive would really put them in position A. Off the RPO, he completes it. So the completion good for just 3. And it'll be 2nd down.
2nd and 7 at the 26-yard line.
Off play action. Knowles. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down.
Cowboy 80.
Back to throw. Knowles. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. A run here with McBride. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. I'm sure that that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground, keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
8 yards to go.
Let's go.
Up the middle they go. It's Franklin. And he's he's going to be taken down right at the line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Albuquerque offense out to take over now. And you sense the tide turning. They scored, then their defense forced the punt, and now a chance to ultimately take the lead here late. And he pushes through a would-be tackler to get about 3 yards, 2nd down. 2nd and 6 coming up.
It's now 2nd and 6 at the 30-yard line.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete.
That's good for an Albuquerque 1st down.
2 minutes remain, and that's our score differential as well. 2 points here in the 4th quarter. So it's our visitors with the football as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive.
Ready? Cougar 19.
Back to throw. That's taken in by Knox. And he takes a pretty good lick there as they wind up getting about 3. It looks like they'll move things around here.
2nd and 6 at the 42-yard line.
Back to throw. He finds his man complete. That's Shepard. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Very sharp here to start this drive, 3 for 3.
Yeah, I like the way he's running this 2-minute drill. Very sharp, very precise in throwing the football.
They'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Silva. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
36-yard line.
Now a handoff up the middle. Lloyd. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage.
70.
A loss of 1. It's now 3rd and 5.
He's back to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
With that incompletion, reality is staring them right in the face. This entire game is down to the next snap.
So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. Now defensively here, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This for the lead in the final stages. And his kick is absolutely perfect. That kick, by the way, Charles, a career long.
Well, we did watch him in pregame, and he hit from this distance, so not a surprise. But there still is something exciting about it, carrying it over from practice and pregame to actually doing it in live action.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The situation for him offensively as follows. Down by 1. A little over 50 seconds remaining. He'll look to throw. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. And he's going to get out of bounds with the 1st down. So that's going to double their pleasure for sure. They get the first and save a timeout.
1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
They look to throw now on 1st down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Here's a 2nd and 7.
It's a pick up of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 50-yard line.
Off the play fake. Knowles. He'll get that complete to Franklin. And he's going to get out of bounds with the first. And they are knocking on the door of field goal range now.
Let's go now.
Operating from the gun. Knowles. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver. Here's second down.
It's second down.
Come on, come on.
Back to throw again. And that is incomplete. This pass rush, they've been excellent all game long, and another example of it right there in the closing moment.
Not only with the pass rush, but how well they're coached, because if you don't quite get there, get to the quarterback, get your hands up into the passing lane and knock it away, as we just saw there.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now fourth down. Try it here. He's back to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as he'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. Felt compelled to go for it there on fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a fourth down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You stop to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Across for the touchdown, and it's likely the game winner here in the closing stages. Charles, that drive was perfect, methodical, executed so well, and they grabbed that lead with almost no time left for a last gasp from the other side.
No way you could have drawn up a better final drive, because not only did they keep their eyes on the end zone, they made sure they bled the clock out as well and denied their opponent a chance to respond. That's just terrific situational football to end this one.
They're going to try and run. And he is not going to make it. So they won't be able to move this lead up to a touchdown, as it'll remain a 5-point ball game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
Ready? 60 Vikings, 60 Vikings.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, it took us until the final play, Charles, to officially decide a winner. Although on that last play they were so backed up, it would have taken a miracle.